Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the SEGA News Bits. I'm your host, George. With me is Barry.
That's me.
And today we're going to be talking about a SEGA fan survey they put out there. This was put out a week ago, and it was basically them trying to figure out what brands people still have fresh in their mind, what characters they like, and what brand they wanted to see revived. We've done a survey before, and that was a mobile survey, and a lot of people didn't like that, and that was done by the Western branch, or mobile branch. This one's done by SEGA Japan, and it didn't say it was a mobile survey, it just said it was a survey. The first two were what brand you're invested in, and the other one was your favorite character, and those were multiple choice. So let's go through those, and let's talk about those. First of all is the brand most people are interested in. We'll start from number 10 all the way up to number 1. So here we go. Hatsune Miku Project Diva, Persona, the Sega Saturn, Panzer Dragoon, Yakuza, Jet Set Radio, Virtual Fighter, Phantasy Star Online, Sonic the Hedgehog, and number 1, Sakura Wars. Are you surprised by any of these, Barry?
I'm surprised by a few of them. I'm surprised by Jet Set Radio, just because I never thought that was a major game in Japan, but I guess it is. Or it could be a lot of Americans getting on there and voting, unless they actually looked at IPs and they were like,
Yeah, for sure.
Because to be honest, these numbers seem pretty small, especially when we were sharing this. Other Sega fan sites were sharing this.
And it was only a few days we could say that. It was only a few days that people had to vote, but I agree, it's a few numbers. Like, they said Sakura Wars won number 1 with 1,843 votes.
Yeah, and like you said, it was quick because we were going to report on this, and I took the survey, and as we were talking, the survey was pulled. And so
yeah,
that's how fast it was.
And this was a multiple choice one, so everything there was already on the list. The next one is favorite character, and here's the characters that won, I guess. Ooh La La was number 10. Then it goes Alex Kidd, Ariel, Temujin, Dr. Eggman, Knights, Bayonetta, Ryo Hazuki, Kazuma Kiryu, and Segata Sanshiro. Are you surprised by any of these?
Dr. Eggman. Like, Sonic's not even on the favorite character list, and yet he's the number 2 most invested brand, and Eggman's number 6. It's almost like fans want an Eggman game.
It's almost like it's gonna happen, right? It has to happen at this point. This is all this survey has told us.
Segata Sanshiro does not surprise me, and if people are hoping we'll see more of him because of this, to be honest, I feel like we've seen a lot of him already. He was in Project Cross Zone 2. He was in a cameo in All-Stars Racing Transformed. Maybe this will mean, we'll get to see more of him in the future.
Now the big question. This is what fans want to see revive the most. And a lot of people had a lot of negative things to say about the list, but let me tell you the list and then we could discuss it. And this one was not multiple choice. People had to write in their answer. Number 10 was Nights into Dreams, Streets of Rage, Skies of Arcadia, Shining Force, Panzer Dragoon, Virtual Fighter, Shenmue, Virtualon, Jet Set Radio, and number 1, Sakura Wars. Are you surprised by that?
Well, I'm not surprised by Sakura Wars because, we both know Sega Saturn was hugely popular in Japan. Sakura Wars was a very popular franchise. They had, I believe, what was it, three or four titles on the Saturn, and then they were ported to the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
There was a Sakura Wars Cafe not too long ago. There was a live show not too long ago. And to be honest, it's a good series. Like, I heard, when we posted the news on this, some people on Twitter, were upset that Sakura Wars took number 1 there. Oh, it looks like a shitty dating sim. But it's actually a really good dating sim that is a strategy RPG, and both elements kind of play into one another, and it's pretty funny. I feel like I'm doing an advertisement for them right now. But if you want to check it out, Sakura Wars So Long My Love is the only game localized here, and it's on PS2 and Wii, so check that out. But anyway, that's my soapbox.
It won by 2,400. It had 2,457 votes, while Jet Set Radio number 2 had 1,485 votes. Are you surprised that so many fans kind of showed up? It feels like maybe this game has that big Shenmue and Jet Set Radio type demand that those games have in the West.
Yeah, I mean, we're not a Japanese culture blog. We sadly don't really cover that kind of stuff just because we don't have people there. But I'd be very interested to know if there's, a large fandom over in Japan, just like you said with Jet Set Radio and Shenmue, where they're doing their Sakura Wars websites and maybe podcasts, forums. I wouldn't be surprised if this was from a forum or a community on Facebook who are like, this is typing in Japanese, like, hey, look at this survey. We need to support Sakura Wars. Get out there.
And what did you pick for your revival?
I picked Jet Set Radio.
Oh, so you got number 2 at least.
Yeah. I wanted to... what'd you pick?
I did Skies of Arcadia.
Oh, that's a good pick. That's a great pick. Oh, that's a great game.
Why did you pick Jet Set Radio?
I feel like there's a lot you could still do with the series, and I just want more of the music, to be honest. I wanted to ask your opinion on Shenmue being there. Like, most hoped revival. Did people get the memo that Shenmue 3 was coming out?
I think this is just fans that really wanted Shenmue 3, and they got it anyway, I guess. But like, they wanted to show Sega they still cared about the franchise. I think it was kind of stupid for them to do this.
Yeah.
But they should have actually sat down and voted for another franchise that hasn't had the limelight in a while.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of when Shenmue 3 had a survey asking, who's your favorite Shenmue character? They will get an extra scene in the game. And everyone picked Ryo. And it's like, you idiots, Ryo's the star of the game. He's an extra scene. They'd be like, that was the extra scene. You're like, oh, between the other 2 scenes with Ryo? Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Idiots!
I was gonna say, it also shows you that like Shenmue fans usually are not Sega fans. They think of one franchise and they go into it and they're like, I want more Shenmue, and that's fine if that's who you are and what you like. But it kind of sucks for us fans that were like, oh yeah, but I also like Virtua Fighter, Panzer Dragoon, Skies of Arcadia, Shining Force, Nights into Dreams, and the list goes on and on and on with all these dead IPs, right?
Yeah, and I mean, regardless of if you are in one of those fandoms that doesn't look outside of the one Sega franchise, this is a great list. I mean, if you haven't played any of these games, check them out, because like, just as a top 10, I think the numbering's off. I wouldn't say Sakura Wars is the best, but it's a solid group of games. Nothing there stands out negatively to me. Shining Force is interesting because that's a franchise that has been around recently, but not in the way that fans were hoping for.
And that's some stuff that people ask me, what Shining Force brand were they talking about? The new one, the old one? But they didn't really say specifically in the survey. Mm-hmm. So I guess it's to whatever your heart desires, right?
Yeah.
Any last words you want to say? I
wanted to ask you, and maybe the people listening too, which of these revivals do you think has a best chance of actually happening, just based on what we know?
Virtua Fighter, maybe. I feel like there's still Sega still wants to go in on the fighting game frenzy, and I think it was such a highly popular title that they're probably thinking about it.
Oh, Virtua Fighter 6, I want it so bad.
And I think that's about the only one I could see them really thinking about, because they're really doubling down on the arcade scene.
For sure.
So what do you think would make it out of these top 10?
I'm going to agree with you on Virtua Fighter. I mean, Virtua Fighter 6 has to happen. It just needs to. And then, obviously, if I'm going to pick a loophole, I think Shenmue's coming back. I really feel like they're going to make a third one.
Maybe. I have a feeling.
Yeah. And it's like, did you like what you were listening to? That's okay. We did too. Or whatever.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to SEGA Video. Very important.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the SEGA Biz Show.